Yo, what's going on, everybody out there? This is Popular Stranger, and we are back again today with another Madden Ultimate Team head-to-head gameplay. Still on the quest for our 5th Super Bowl in a row on All Madden First String, and we are in the divisional round here now. You guys saw the wild card gameplay a couple days ago, and look at this Shady McCoy setting things off. Second play of the game, he takes it to the house. And quickly, we are up 7-0, but let's continue on discussing how to make coins in Madden Ultimate Team. This is a mini-series that I've done. This is the 3rd episode of it, and in the last episode, we talked about solo challenges and how to work the auction block. The trading block. Now, today, in today's video, we're going to talk about kind of working the auction house, but more so when the best time to sell cards is. So historically, cards are a lot cheaper on the weekends, and that's the best time if you're ever looking to get a card or to complete a collection. That's always the best time to buy cards, is on the weekends. There's a lot more people on at that time. People are busy throughout the week. I know personally I am sometimes and only have time to get on at certain times of the weekend. Typically, it's like, you know, early evening, daytime to early evening. So if you're ever, again, looking for a card, that's the best time to buy it. Sunday mornings, I've also find personally that cards seem to be cheaper. Between like the noon and 3 o'clock range is usually when I'm able to find cards for cheap as well. So that's definitely times, that's the time you want to get on and search for cards and buy cards. Now, if you're opening packs up on the weekends, and there's no problem with that, they always have promotions going on, you know, new cards coming out on Saturdays. If you ever get cards that you're probably going to sell, don't sell them on the weekends, for the same reason that it's good to buy cards on the weekends because they're cheap. You're not going to get as much if you try to sell cards on the weekend. So just hold on to it. I know it's going to burn a hole in your pocket, but hold on to those cards. Wait till like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to sell that card. I guarantee you'll get more coin. Well, I can't guarantee it, but 90% of the time, yes, you're going to get more coin for it. And that also goes for cards that you might buy on the auction house for really cheap on the weekend. Hang on to them and then sell them during the week. Fill up the auction house before you go to bed at night. And again, do this on the weekdays or the weekend nights. I mean, that'll work too. But people tend to, there's less people on at nighttime, and people tend to overpay for cards all the time. So, I mean, pretty much every night I do it, you know, around 9 p.m., 10 p.m. Eastern Time before I'm ready to shut down the PS3 and, you know, just watch TV for the rest of the night. I'll put a bunch of cards up on the auction house for, you know, 5,000 to 7,000 more than maybe the cheapest one on the auction house. And a lot of times they'll sell because there's those late night players or those players who are not in the U.S. that are getting on and, you know, looking to buy cards, and it's not a peak time. There's not a lot of people on. That makes cards a lot more rare, and people surprisingly are willing to pay extra for cards because some people just don't have patience and can't wait for certain things. They're trying to do collections, and they just don't want to wait to finish them. You know, I'm guilty of that every once in a while. Overpay for a card, knowing that if I'm just patient and I wait a little longer, that I could probably get it for cheap. And there's a lot of people that are impatient all the time, and it's a really, really good way to, you know, basically to sell cards and get the maximum value. So, you know, definitely keep your auction house filled up at nighttime, and you just really got to know the market of cards, know how much a card really goes for. You know, if there's a certain card you're looking to buy, give it a couple hours, you know, see what that price is going to. If you don't see a card moving at all, then it's probably going to sit at that price for a little while. But again, just know the auction house, know the market. You can always check card values at mutthead.com. I mean, we have a tool on there that basically averages out the winning price of the last 10 auctions and then divides, you know, adds that price up, divides it by 10, and we give you an average. And you can find that for all 4 platforms. So Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS3, PS4, it has an average of all those. So again, that's mutthead.com. If you're not familiar with it, I don't know how you're not, but make sure you do check that out. And you can also see what latest, what cards have sold for, you know, most recently. If you go to MaddenUltimateTeam.com, you can log in as long as you have an ID or you created an ID to link up to your team. And again, if you're not aware, you can check your team. You can see all of your cards on your current roster and your reserves by going to MaddenUltimateTeam.com. But you can also search cards, and it has pretty much the whole database of every card that's been released. And whatever card you click, it shows you like the last 10 to 15 auctions. Now, unfortunately, you cannot break that down by platform, so it just kind of mixes them all up, and sometimes it'll be filled with, you know, next gen cards on there, next gen platform cards on there, so you can't really get an idea. But sometimes you can kind of see what a card sold for over the last 5 or 6 auctions of that day. It's usually updated, so it's a good way to kind of understand how much a card's value is worth. So then again, that's really just something I suggest doing, just familiarizing yourself with the market and how much cards sell for to maximize your profit. Check your reserves for gold and silver cards that might be going for good prices, for, you know, that'll go for collections. And I'll get into this more in depth in future episodes, just as far as collections and what cards are worth a lot and what cards might not be worth a lot. But if you know cards are part of a collection and you have a bunch of them in the reserves, you know, for instance, a silver Jason Jones, you can get a couple $100,000 for that. Corey Wooten, a silver card for the Bears. Those cards that are worth a lot, check your reserves for them. They're worth a lot, and if you have them, you never know. I mean, when that Jason Jones first started getting really expensive, I had 3 of them in my reserves, and that was back when they were only like going for $60K. Now they're well over $100K. So again, just check your reserves, make sure you do it. Check those elite road to the playoff cards. Don't make the mistake and sell the ones that are needed for collections for the wrong price. So make sure that you know, you're not selling the wrong chemistry card, like the Joe Hayden 94 overall road to the playoffs elite. Don't sell the man defense one for $20K, because that one goes for well over that amount, but the opposite card does not. So I hope those tips were helpful. Make sure you do click that thumbs up. You saw we got the overtime win, and we're moving on to the conference championship round. I'll be back with that gameplay shortly, and we'll talk about some more tips on how to work the auction house and search the auction house. I'm out, guys. Peace.